Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare two super ultra lightweight gaming mice, one from SteelSeries, the other from Logitech, both with different design features and aesthetics and reasonable appeal in a number of different ways. These are two quite different mice at roughly similar price points. The SteelSeries Aerox 3 wireless that you could see at the beginning and the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. As you'll see as I go through this video comparing the two, they are quite a bit different. The Aerox 3 has RGB lighting and a honeycomb design, as well as 6 buttons and 66 grams in terms of weight, and it is capable of up to 18,000 CPI in 100 CPI increments, whereas the G Pro X Superlight is lighter mouse at 63 grams, but it has 5 buttons, a much more understated design, and no RGB lighting. Now, I've done unboxing and review videos separately that I'll link to in the description that you can check out if you want to find out more, including seeing close-ups of the software and discussion of what these mice are like to use. But I wanted to show off the various features of them and talk about the highlights and what I like about them and what I don't. Now, these are two fantastic mice that are, as I said earlier, relatively the same price. The G Pro X Superlight is around £129, $129. The Aerox 3 is about £99, $99. So they're kind of similar in price point, but they're quite different in their design, aesthetics, and the specifications of them. The G Pro X Superlight, for example, can go all the way up to 26,500 DPI, which is insane. It also comes with a very understated design, and they've got a very lightweight mouse, 63 grams, with no honeycomb cutout on it. The Aerox 3 adapts that familiar honeycomb design that a lot of the ultra lightweight gaming mice are using nowadays, so a lot of holes in it, but it is dust resistant. It has an IP rating on it, so it's designed to prevent dust and dirt ingress that might ruin it. It also has a really interesting setup in terms of connectivity options that I'll talk to you about in a minute. The G Pro X Superlight is interesting in a number of ways as well, though. For example, it has these large PTFE feet underneath, and you'll see there are not only a large setup as default, but you can also remove the plate at the back with the G logo on it and swap it out with an included one, which allows you to install even more PTFE. It also has a storage dock underneath for the Lightspeed wireless dongle that comes with this mouse. The G Pro X Superlight basically has two connection options. You can use the Lightspeed wireless dongle plugged directly into your PC, or you can plug it in using a micro USB cable. I'll show you that a bit later. The connection is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, a solid connection from Logitech that makes it connect really nicely to your PC and last with accurate response and a fantastic use. Now, I'm going to leave all the specifications in the description for both these mice so you can compare them on paper, but what I'm showing is the details and close-ups of the features. What makes the Aerox 3 stand out from the two is the connectivity options. As you'll see from underneath, there is a switch that allows you to go between Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz. So yes, the SteelSeries Aerox 3 has a dongle as well that allows you to connect it to your PC, but you can also put it into Bluetooth mode and connect it to other devices as well. So whether you want to use it with a laptop, for example, you don't have to remove the dongle from your PC. You can just take the mouse with you and connect it to that device with ease. The other interesting point here is that in Bluetooth mode, you can get up to 200 hours of battery life out of the Aerox 3, which is an insane number. A very high amount of battery life. You can get up to 80 hours with it in 2.4 gigahertz wireless. Meanwhile, the G Pro X Superlight manages 70 hours of continuous use before it needs recharging, but it doesn't have a Bluetooth connection. It only has that Lightspeed wireless dongle. As you'll see, the Aerox 3 has a sort of matte finish to it that is kind of rough in the hand, but that is not a bad point. Thanks to the honeycomb design and that rough matte texture, you basically have a good grip on the mouse at all times, and it delivers a really comfortable fit. This has been one of my favourite Superlight gaming mice that I've used in recent months. And the Logitech G Pro X Superlight is similar for other reasons, also a fantastic mouse. So don't think that I'm saying the Aerox 3 is the better of the two. I'm saying they're both fantastic, and I want to be able to compare why they're fantastic for different reasons. As you'll see, there's also a textured mouse wheel on the Aerox 3, and as I noted, it has 6 programmable buttons, including this DPI button on top, which is something that for some reason the Logitech lacks. So it doesn't have a DPI switching button, which is very odd because you can change DPI levels and set specific levels within the software, which is a bit of a curiosity. So although you can set custom levels, you can't change between them with ease. There are some quirks of the software that I go into in the review though. You can reprogram some of the buttons and make use of Logitech's G-Shift functionality, which means that you can program a secondary action for each of the buttons on there. So although there's only 5 buttons, technically you can have a lot more if you assign a secondary press from one of the other buttons in terms of a G-Shift key. So it does have some programmability, but what you see on the face of it when you first plug it in, if you're not installing the software, is a very understated mouse with very little going for it. There's no RGB lighting, there's no Bluetooth connection, and it is really understated. It looks like a much cheaper mouse. It's quite an expensive high-end mouse, and yet it delivers a very understated aesthetic. Also, it has micro USB charging, which might put some people off, but it does have that traditional extender. So you've got this little dock that you can put into the end of the micro USB cable and keep that Lightspeed wireless dongle closer to your mouse and within reach. That then means that you can easily remove this and plug that cable into the mouse when you need to charge. Another point of note is that the Superlight will also work with Logitech's POWERPLAY system, which means that you can use it on a POWERPLAY mat and never need to plug it in because it will be constantly getting charged from that. POWERPLAY mats is obviously a potentially really interesting thing. It's something that the SteelSeries mouse doesn't have, which basically means you never need to plug it in. You can just keep on using it on that surface, which is obviously fantastic. However, the micro USB will be a downer for some people. I know a lot of people hate that. The SteelSeries Aerox 3 feels a bit more modern in that way, in that it has a USB-C charging cable. You will also notice it also has an extender and adapter, and that point is interesting because it comes with a USB-C dongle. So it's not a USB-A like the Logitech, but a USB-C. So you do need a USB-C port on your PC or laptop, or you need to use the adapter that's included in the box. So the adapter that comes with the SteelSeries Aerox 3 is an extender as well as an adapter. So again, you can keep it on your desk, plug this into it, and plug the power cable into your PC so it is then connected that way. And then again, you can obviously unplug that USB-C cable from the back of the adapter and plug it into your mouse when you need to charge it. The Aerox 3, as I said, up to 80 hours of battery life with 2.4 gigahertz or 200 hours with Bluetooth, so you really don't need to charge it very often, and that's something that I found when I was using it that was fantastic in the amount of battery life that it had. That obviously varies depending on your use and also on how much RGB lighting you're using. But one thing that I noted in the unboxing review is it has some very clever sleep settings. So not only does it go to sleep when not in use, but you actually have to move and press the buttons on it to bring it back to life. And you can change the sleep settings within the SteelSeries engine software to make it even more aggressive in terms of the power that it saves. Like the RGB lighting will turn off when the mouse isn't being moved and things like that, so it reduces that battery usage and keeps it lasting and lasting. Obviously this isn't a consideration you have to worry about with the G Pro X Superlight because it doesn't have an RGB lighting. It is very understated, and yet the design is very nice. As you can see from these close-up shots, it looks pretty mean and it is a professional gaming mouse designed for and aimed at pros, and that's possibly why they've shed all the RGB lighting and any other nonsense that you might usually see. Also, it doesn't have that honeycomb design, and yet it's lighter than the Aerox 3 by a few grams. It's 63 grams, and that's with the included stickers on it. So I actually found that mine was about 61 or 62 grams if we weren't using the grip stickers. So there's some stickers included in the box that give it a better grip. But that is a point of note in itself. in that I found that the oils from my fingers and such marred the mouse over time, whereas that wasn't a problem I had with the Aerox 3, and I found that because of the matte sort of rough finish texture and the honeycomb design, that the Aerox 3 sat better on my hand and I didn't have a problem with grip on it. But you do have grip tape that you can install that's included as standard with the GPRX Superlight that you can stick on there as basically stickers, but they give it a rougher texture which allow for a better grip and less problems with oils and grease and things from your skin, so it has a better grip over time. But however, I do feel like the Aerox 3 is the better looking of the two, and obviously has the RGB lighting going for it, but it's really going to be a personal preference. Both fantastic mice, both great to use and really feature rich. Hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful, interesting, hilarious, or all of the above. Be sure to check out the description for other information you might find interesting, and subscribe and watch these other videos as well that I think might be useful to you, and have a great life.